My name is Routy, and these are my wilderness survival adventures. We're starting off with my adventures on a remote tropical island that I didn't plan to visit. Since coming to this island, a lot has happened. Let me catch you up to speed. Day 7. I've finally been able to sit down to write in my journal. I've also only just been able to get my video camera working. It got wet during the swim to shore, so I've had it drying out when I can. It's been a harrowing odd number of days since coming here. Our ship got caught in a storm and crashed, but I haven't seen any other survivors. As far as I know, I'm alone on this island. I've scraped by with the iron axe and iron flint that I grabbed from the ship before she went under, but since accumulating items and moving about, I've only the flint left, but even that is almost used up. In the wilderness, you can only carry what you need and what works. Everything else is either a luxury or a waste. Since arriving, I've been sunburned, stung by a scorpion, lost 2 spears hunting food, soaked in rain, nearly starved, dehydrated, cut and scratched various times, and bitten by a snake. I've also found some interesting artifacts left behind by the one and only Ponce de Leon. I've recently found a telescope belonging to him, if the notes I found are true. It was lying on the beach in the open sun. It's interesting to wonder what happened here. That's not the only artifact I've found, by the by. I found a wall map in a cave with other notes, like breadcrumbs leading anyone who marooned here to where De Leon himself went. Me predicament is this. I have no radio, no ship, no companions, no way off this island, except a small raft I found, which I managed to sail to this bigger island and other islands I've discovered. I have stone tools and clothes made out of leaves. I have natural medicines and anti-poisons. I have to hunt for me food, and I've only just been able to build a water collector. And I'm still alive. My plan is to keep following in Ponce de Leon's steps. Maybe at some point along the way, I'll find a way off this island and back to civilization. Day 8. I fell asleep soon after writing my last entry. The fire was out and night had come. I used this time to go back to my previous camp and begin lugging items to my new shelter. Given that I could only carry so much, I knew I'd have to make multiple trips, but I wasn't dying at the moment and had recouped some energy upon waking up, so I thought, why not? There were some animals awake, making noises I might usually ignore, but now with being in this survival situation, thousands of miles away from civilization, I had to be more tuned to what was around me to preserve my life. I'd been attacked by a couple hawks the day before, and there was one flying around near my shelter. There were also chickens, of all things, which posed no threat, of course, but the prairie dogs here can be pretty formidable for their size. The ocean sounds were so relaxing as I hiked. It's much better doing this stuff in the cool of the night instead of the hot sun. I found a mollusk on the way, which are good eats. Don't need to cook them, just pull them out of the shell and indulge. At my old camp, which I started to build until I spotted the stone building, I had to dismantle me water collector and me palm leaf bed. When I returned with a load to my new shelter, I just dumped it anywhere. It had apparently been closer to morning than I realized. The sun was peeking above the horizon. I thought I heard something close by on the second trip and equipped me spear, but there was nothing. Just me heavy footsteps in the brush as I stumbled down the hill. I hoped that trip would be my last, but me dismantled fire pit proved to be too much weight to carry. Third trip it would be, just for one rock. But every material you can keep with you in a place like this, especially if materials are scarce, could be the difference between life and death. Picked up another mollusk, figuring once I got everything settled in my new place, I would eat the mollusks and maybe enjoy some coconut juice to recoup my strength. On the third trip, I spotted a chicken and thought I would try to hunt it for food. I didn't have a whole lot of spare food, so having that chicken would have been a luxury. but I lost it among the rocks. Instead, I found a tortoise, and I ended up finding the chickens again, which ran away like chickens with their heads cut off. I went after the tortoise, but he spotted me and tried to run away. I got to him anyway. I tried to field dress it, but couldn't because my stone cutter was close to breaking, so I hoisted it on my shoulder to carry to my new place. I had to stop several times to rest. That thing was heavy. I heard growling nearby from a prairie dog, which means I was getting too close to it, but I was able to get away from it before it attacked. Carrying that dead tortoise took a lot of energy, and I couldn't help but yawn once I reached my destination. I constructed a bed, ate those mollusks I picked up, did some tidy up of me materials, and took a nap. When I woke up, I built a fire and got to work taking stock of things and doing some crafting to make a new stone cutter so I could field dress that tortoise for meat. I rebuilt my water collector and set it outside the door, but by the time I finished with that, I had to relight the fire. I cooked up some crab and prairie dog I'd hunted down the day before, but hadn't been able to field dress either. Did some more tidy up of my materials and supplies, and then it started to rain. Hopefully my water collector works. I tossed the carcass of the tortoise over the side of the rock outcropping my new shelter set on. I couldn't do anything with it really. Even if I was able to turn it into a bowl or something, it would be difficult to carry. The rain sounded wonderful, but it was worth staying inside where the warmth was and just enjoying the view out the window. When the rain subsides, I'll explore the area around my new shelter some more and try to stock up my supplies before moving on to see where this telescope takes me.